Hello, my name is Don Horning and I am president of CrustBuster SpeedKing, Dodge City, Kansas. I would like to update you on a concept of harvesting and modulating cotton that we have been working on. The concept combines the functions of a bull buggy with that of a module builder by having a basket attached to the side of a 16-foot long compaction chamber. The object of this whole project is to make the basket big enough and strong enough to receive a full dump from a stripper or picker and not be so heavy, unwieldy, and cumbersome so as to make the carrying of the weight on the side of the compaction chamber impractical. We used a bellow type concept with cargo fabric in between the bellows to make the basket super lightweight, and so it is easily extends out to receive a dump from the stripper. The distance the receiving basket extends out toward the stripper eliminates the need for side shift hitch on the bull buggy to reach extended stripper heads. Two hydraulic cylinders lift the basket up to dump into the compaction chamber. A chain floor in the basket conveys the cotton into the compaction chamber. Another vital part of this concept is the packing bridge runs a full 16-foot length of the compaction chamber and not just the width as on a standard module builder. Therefore, with each packing stroke of the tamper, the cotton is being compacted the full length of the compaction chamber. One will note the scissoring action of the bridge footpiece, much like a scissor jack, eliminates the need for bridge cylinders to stick way up into the air as on a regular module builder. The floor of the compaction chamber has 8 chains that run the full length of the floor, much like that of a module moving truck. The floor drops down to ground height to unload the module. Now let's go to the field to see how these concepts perform. We pull alongside the full stripper and extend out the receiving basket. The basket lift comfortably nestles under the basket of the stripper to receive the dump. One can easily dump into an extended basket with zero spillage. The receiving basket handles a full basket load from a 7460 with room to spare. Dumping time is around 45 seconds, and we have observed times we were able to pull alongside the stripper, take a dump, and have both the stripper and the modulating bull buggy back on the go to do more work in 1 minute. In a typical operation, from the time the stripper is shut down and the buggy in place, basket dumped, and the stripper back on the road stripping is normally 2 to 3 minutes. This will vary as to the sequencing of the overall operation and the proficiency of the operators. The goal of this concept is to convert normal wasted time into valuable labor-saving work time. The receiving basket is raised in conveying cotton into the compaction chamber while moving through the field. Here we are pulling alongside the stripper to receive the second basket load. The first dump into the compaction chamber requires only minimal packing, with only approximately 4.5 minutes of cycle time consumed. The first dump into the compaction chamber can be done by raising the basket one time and unloading the full load without ever shutting off the unload conveyor chain. On the second dump, it takes 2 times of turning the conveyor chain and working in and packing the cotton, the first part of the receiving basket load, and then turning the chain back on again to work in the balance. Average cycle time to unload the receiving basket and pack in the second dump is approximately 9 minutes. Now we are picking up the third and final dump. Note the packer in the packing chamber continues to pack while the receiving basket is being filled, again converting normal wasted time into work time. The packer bridge can always be packing while traveling through the field or waiting on another stripper load or at the module yard. Here is another shot of picking up the third dump from the stripper, carrying the third dump in the receiving basket as we continue to pack the second dump in the compaction chamber. Over an average based on building many modules, It takes an average cycle time of 12.5 minutes to work in the third and final stripper load. It requires 3 times of turning the receiving basket chain on and off to top off the module. During this time period, the basket can be left raised in the air and or lowered while moving through the field. This segment was shot at the module yard because we wanted to show the complete dumping of the third stripper dump and the topping off cycle. Remember, a good part of this cycle can be performed in the field or on the way to the module yard. The basket is raised and the first shot of cotton is conveyed into the compaction chamber. Note the bridge is at the home position and turned off when receiving cotton from the basket. We make 3 strokes from the home position. There is no automatic control on the receiving basket. It is only controlled by the operator. When needed to dump cotton into the compaction chamber, the tractor operator raises the basket to full raised position and turns on the conveyor chain. Looking at the tractor side mirror, which is set to observe the cotton going into the compaction chamber, the operator continues to convey cotton until a noticeable buildup of cotton can be observed. Then he turns off the chain. The bridge is moved 1 space over and completes 2 more tamps. The bridge moves back to home position and the cotton falls and rolls into the compacted hole just created. The bridge pushes into the mound of cotton held in place by the raised basket. The bridge is pulled back away from the mound of cotton, allowing the cotton to fall into the holes created. Once all the cotton is in the compaction chamber, the basket is lowered and the packing action continued. Elapsed time is approximately 2 minutes. While the packing action continues, the operator dismounts the tractor and can be stretching out the module tarp, getting ready to unload and tarp the module. There are many different scenarios on how to sequence the operations to make your overall operation as efficient as possible. One scenario is to stay in the field on the third and final stripper load, unloading the full basket into the compaction chamber, requiring approximately 2 minutes. While the third load is being packed tight, a 4th stripper basket full can be picked up and unloaded into the receiving basket. While picking up the 4th load, the topping off tamping action can continue to pack the third dump in the compaction chamber and then continue to pack on the way to the module yard. When arriving at the module yard, the packed module is ready to be quickly unloaded and tarped, consuming only about 4 minutes. Then on the way back to the cotton field, the carried 4th load is dumped into the compaction chamber in one shot by turning on the basket chain. The module builder is then ready for another stripper load. Allowing the longer topping off cycle to be combined with a shorter first dump cycle makes better use of the time allowed, and again converts wasted time into valuable productive work time. Now then, we are ready to unload the module just completed. We raise the gate and we drop the floor down to the unload height. We start the conveyor chain and pull forward off the module. No special timing is necessary between the tractor driver and unloading the module. This is all done by experience and feel for how fast you go off the module as the chains are unloading the module. Here we are using a typical and conventional way of pulling the tarp onto the module by clipping the front of the tarp to the back of the gate, raising the gate, and then pulling forward and pulling the tarp over the completed module. Many different ideas are under consideration here to make it easier to tarp the module even in wind and require less people on the ground to hold the tarp into place. Again, this is an example of the type of a module that one can build with a modulating boll buggy. We feel we can build a module that is equal to and as good as any module you can build with a conventional module builder. The sides are well compacted. The one module here, the half module, will hold approximately 6 bales of stripper cotton. Now you see this is an example, as we talked about before. We carried the 4th basket load to the module yard, and now we are going to dump that load into the compaction chamber on our way to the cotton field. There are many different scenarios that can be incorporated into the normal operation of our modulating boll buggy. Here we are backing a completed module up to the first module that's already on the ground. The trying to match this out does require a lot of time, and it's not necessarily the recommended procedure, although you can use the same tarp to tarp 2 half modules as you're using to tarp a full module. But the tarping operation becomes difficult, and also the backing up and matching the module you're unloading with the module already on the ground. This is an example of modules that we built throughout the day, and any cotton that is on the ground because of the tarping operation, which we wish to improve upon. Since this video was shot, we have increased our tamper speed by 25% and increased our bridge travel by 25%. Therefore, should equate to decreasing our cycle times as presented in this video by 25%. If you wish to comment on this concept, I would appreciate it if you'd get a hold of me by either phone or email. And I'd appreciate any comments, good or bad, that you may have as it concerns the overall concept. Thank you.